What is up and good morning everybody, welcome back to Marvel Rivals, welcome back to the channel and Happy New Year. Today I wanted to do another spectating video, but unlike yesterday's spectating video, I'm not going to be spectating myself and I'm not going to be spectating a character that I feel like I'm relatively good at. Today I just found this guy on the leaderboards. He's like number 5 or so on the leaderboards and he pretty much only plays Magneto. He went on an absolute tear. I think he won like 7 or 8 ranked games in a row with his Magneto. So I just kind of picked one of the games that was in that little streak. He plays really well, and I just wanted to kind of share it with you guys. We can all kind of learn together a little bit and go through what this guy does well, some interesting things that he does, his positioning, all that sort of thing. And because tank is a role that I don't actually play a whole lot, I'm definitely someone that prefers to play healer wherever possible. You know, I think this would be a good idea to just kind of check this guy out, see what he does, what can we learn from him, what can I learn from him. So immediately throwing up the barrier, blocking kind of the initial pot shots that the enemy is taking. As you'll notice, or as you've seen in the Magneto beginner guide, his shield does have a cooldown, so getting that on cooldown. Focusing the Wolverine, because that's the only thing that's really going to kill him on this team. They do have a Moon Knight, a Star-Lord, and a Mantis, so all of their damage dealers are projectile based. So if that Wolverine dies, then he is suddenly in a very good spot. So they get a really good kind of ace going on here. They stagger the enemy a little bit, and he's just making sure to posture in front of his team, it looks like. And again, you'll notice that left shift has a cooldown. It has a cooldown regardless of if you cancel it early or if you cancel it late. And he sees his team is up here, which is kind of cool, so he actually just moves to stand in front of his team. I see a lot of tanks just kind of play where they think they should be, but you really should play in front of your team, and it looks like this guy does that pretty well, with the Groot actually helping him get access to that higher platform pretty easily. His Groot dies here, and the Wolverine gets on him, but thank God someone kills that Wolverine, because that would have been real bad. They're down a tank, so they're probably just backing up a little bit. By the way, this NRG Cal guy, he plays Star-Lord a lot, and he's also like top 3 or something like that, so he is very, very good as well. Making sure that he uses up his health bar and his shield. This Magneto is actually really good at just kind of realizing when he can take damage, when he's got heals going, and when he should actually pop his shield. Not using his shield when he doesn't really need to, making sure that he has it for important parts. Their Moon Knight ults here and actually gets an ace, gets a 6-piece, which will not happen very often, but that is a little bit crazy that he just got a 6-piece in. I think this is like an eternity lobby, so didn't know you could actually break that wall either. So break that wall, get a little bit of vision, make sure the enemy doesn't come through. Angled Groot wall to get a little bit more access. And now this guy's got ult, they're 85%. They have like 4 ults on their team. Their Star-Lord commits ult. Doesn't get a whole lot, it doesn't look like, but ulting the Mantis. He definitely uses his Magneto ults a little bit more offensively, which I don't think a lot of people go for like maximum cleave damage or hitting most targets with a Magneto ult. But it seems like you just want to kind of charge it up and chuck it at a healer and one-shot them, because it does seem like you would win point. But his team actually, the other team actually gets wiped pretty easily, even though they lose their... Actually, no, that makes a whole lot of sense. He just destroyed their healer. Why would they win? Yeah, no, he played that pretty well. Destroyed their healer really, really early. If she had ult, she never got to use it. So that secures the point there. Pretty simple. So let's just jump ahead in the recording a little bit to when they actually get into it, and we'll switch back to his POV. Oh, that's not the button. Something else to note is that Magneto's shield will block damage coming from the front and coming from behind, so as long as it like hits the shield, it will be blocked from the direction that it's currently moving. So even if he pops his shield and he's facing the other way, it's probably because he doesn't really care if he gets shot. He just wants to stop the bullets from traveling on their intended path. So you might see that here. I'm not sure if there's an example of that, but getting Eye of Agamotto there, not a whole lot to do to survive, but it does look like the enemy team gets wiped anyway, which is kind of crazy. It does feel like the other team is just committing a lot of ults and not actually getting a whole lot out of them. So now they have Star-Lord ult, he's about halfway to his ult, and they also have Mantis ult. So they should be able to hold this point here. Magneto's melee also is kind of a good way to finish off kills. It has a little bit of a longer range than most melees in the game, so if someone's really low HP, you can always use that and get a little bit more damage this way. So still just kind of posturing in front of his team, making sure he's in a place to block a lot of damage. Sees the Star-Lord use his E, so he blocks a little bit of that. And not going up too far, but definitely getting in there, being annoying. Shielding on cooldown, basically, because his shields do have really, really long cooldowns, so using those effectively. There you can see he weaved through a couple melees because he didn't want to reload. And then using this middle thing to get a little bit of height, look around, see who's up, even though there shouldn't be a whole lot of people up since they just wiped them. Kind of wacky. But yeah, this is a character that I definitely want to play more, so I thought it would be cool to look at someone who pretty much only plays this character. He's got like 25 hours or something in ranked on just this character. So very, very good to check out someone that is very, very good at the character that you're looking at. So alright, so the enemy team making a little bit of a push here. Their Star-Lord ults, and he actually Magneto ults in Star-Lord's face, which actually takes away a lot of that Star-Lord's ult power, it seems like. Obviously, if you spray into a Magneto ult, he's going to get a lot of extra increased damage. So the Star-Lord ults, he Magneto ults, and suddenly the Star-Lord cannot just pump into targets anymore. So that definitely helps diffuse a little bit of damage. You can use Magneto's ult offensively, but you can also use it as like a blocking tool, which is very, very cool that he uses it that way there, just to shut down any kind of projectile-based ult. I believe something like Punisher ult too would work, Punisher turret. If your team is really trying to push past the Punisher turret and you don't have a way to actually like, get on the turret or destroy it or something like that, Magneto ult definitely can be a good way to get past those and get some extra damage on your ult in the process as well. So they're getting a little bit fried here, but they're at 99% and they're a round up, so even if they lose this, they would have a little bit of extra time to make something happen. The other Groot on the enemy team keep pushing up a little bit. They aren't able to get a pick there. And unfortunately, they do just get kind of steamrolled on this one of these last pushes here. So we're looking at, yeah, we have Mantis ult, we have Moon Knight ult, we have Star-Lord ult against their Groot ult, Strange ult, and Moon Knight ult. So 3 ults to 3 ults. His ult is pretty close, but everyone's ult is pretty close. So this could definitely be a pretty close last fight. So standing up here, blocking a little bit. And then just starting to get in there. Getting away from the Eye of Agamotto, which is very, very good. Somehow he lives here. I mean, that is crazy that he lived through the Groot ult and the Magneto. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. His healers are warriors for that. Still dies, but that is okay. And then the enemy Star-Lord does ult and kind of clean up there, but it's at 86%, so they have one more push to get the point. Their Doctor Strange kills the Star-Lord, which might be enough to just at least get them on the point for overtime. And he eventually gets back in the fight. They pick off the Star-Lord, and then he ults to kind of both block damage. Make sure you finish off the Doctor Strange. Doesn't overcommit the ult, doesn't try and go for a far target, just goes for the one that will guarantee that his team takes the win. And that is going to be overtime, and hopefully they're just able to close it out right here. Magneto just really seems like a simple character. He's simple but effective, but he's got a couple things in his kit that you can use effectively, using your E and your F on cooldown to shield yourself, allies during your shield down times. Very, very cool. So I don't know if this was helpful for anybody, but if it was, please don't hesitate to like the video, leave a comment with anything else that you want to see from the channel. I always appreciate any suggestions that you guys have. And as we go to the scoreboard here, we can see that he absolutely pumps. He blocks a ton of damage. He's right here, so blocks 21k, does another 7. You know, not the most damage that I've ever seen on Magneto, but he definitely postures in front of his team really well, plays the character as it's meant to be played, and again, he's on a huge win streak on one of the highest ranks that you can get in this game. So definitely go check this guy out. You can view his profile, you can watch all of his replays, all that sort of stuff. That's all public information as well, so go ahead and do that. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one, and Happy New Year again. Bye-bye.